If you believe that you have positioned yourself and your family in the right direction for next few weeks to months, that should be great. But understand, world is changing quickly and we are reaching that point where we have been in the past. Last time we had a massive collapse in our financial infrastructure. It was around 84 trillion to 173 trillion dollar increase. So we kind of doubled the total debt. Right now we stand at 300 trillion dollar in debt. Imagine this. That's a huge run up in debt. Meaning, yes, 84 to 173 went up sky high, but from that point, when we had a huge issue just because of debt, we have already gone way up. 173 to 307, even when we are having financial troubles because of debt. And the yield is now going up, 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 and above. Why? Because if they don't increase these yields, people are not ready, or institutions are not ready to take in risk. So they need to offer more reward, risk to reward. Now, if you look at the crypto market, you can literally watch how things are evolving. Ripple is showing it's doing massive. XRP kind of posted this chart out, and I'm like, that's something really huge. Stellar has more real world assets on chain, more than all the other chains combined. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. If that's true, or if there is 80% of truth in that, this asset is about to go nuts in the upcoming run up. I'm watching how things are evolving in that space, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot. It's easy to transfer values and to bridge this global world. So they are literally talking about the XRP, the XLM, the XDC. You guys know where things are headed. And if you are positioned well enough, you already know that this is coming. There is no delay in that. So just focus on when it's coming. You need a lot of patience for that. Remember, back in the day, we were talking about this, right? When the price was at the bottom, we were highlighting the fact that, okay, let's see this. I think we are going to do this. We're going to bounce off from this range and reach a positive level. Right now, we've actually done that first bounce. We completed that. We reached this range. Now we need to make a higher low and bounce off to break through this range. That's going to open a lot of opportunities. We are watching some of them evolving. We had these calls. Now, it's been a month, agreed, a month and a half. And now we are watching that some of these assets are getting more volume. Some of them are starting to bounce off. They are up for this week and they're showing you like they are doing rapidly to the upside. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. Thanks for all those guys who have been smashing that like button. And a lot of people have been informing me in the comment sections like what they like, what they don't like. And so happy to listen and respond to all of you guys. Keep smashing that like button. So now, if you actually take a look at the technical side of things, it's actually really interesting. The way I look at this is like, okay, this is a zoomed in view, a microstructure, where it shows, okay, we may actually come back down and then test this trend line. We would really like to see this bouncing off from this trend line. Now, what would that mean on a little bit zoomed out picture? First, we are looking at just this trend of upside move. Now we are zooming out to see that, yeah, that trend is valid, but that trend originated from a pattern like this. After a breakout or retest, if we can do a consolidative move at that retest range, we may actually gather a lot more buyers. That kind of pushes the price to the upside as we move up. And I'm like, okay, that's more bullish structure than we actually want. That's good. That's great. We can actually break through those resistance ranges. Now we are actually watching like, okay, dollar is retesting with all the news happening on the other side. But now if you actually look at this, we are back in this territory. The price is actually bouncing back up. So dollar is becoming even more stronger, right? You actually go look at a lot of different currency pairs. This is important because when your currency is getting hit hard, remember, people move into dollar or crypto. We are watching a lot of Asian countries, Middle Eastern countries are moving into crypto than into dollars. So that kind of shows you the idea that, okay, these people are getting a lot of concern and now they are moving in. So it's just USD JPY showing you that direction. And if you actually go further and look at INR, I'm like, okay, there's something. On the other side, countries like Japan is taking a hit. Great. But here, what you're watching is that INR is gaining strength against the dollar. I'm like, okay, that's something to watch out for. Things are evolving. Now, this is a historical pattern, and if we break that to the downside, there is some room. Great, you can come back down to this trend line. But once you do break that, the strength actually grows all the way back. You can actually come back down to 80, then below somewhere close to 76. So there's a long way to the downside. Now, why are we looking at that in the crypto market? Now, we are looking at the correlation of this asset class or this asset with all these other movements in the market. And we understand the fact that last time, keep this in mind, as this market moved lower and consolidated in that range, crypto markets started moving off. Now, this is currency pair in different countries. One is the most populated country on the planet versus the reserve currency dollar, so USD INR. You get that idea. Now, if you actually go back in time, looking at 2017, it's same. You actually got the price dropping and then consolidating, and that's where crypto market just went nuts. So if that's true, that means as your currency is strengthening, more and more people in these markets are also buying crypto because they think they can buy more. Before, if you got an XRP for a rupee, now you can get 1.5 or 1.25. So you can get more. Your purchasing power is increasing. So thought process is different, but all of them are slowly entering into the crypto sphere. Now, zoom in on the Bitcoin side of things. Now, we do understand, okay, we are trending higher. The best case scenario, I would say the best case, we want to actually see the price coming back to 26,600 and bouncing off. Let's actually put it a candle. So if we can come back down somewhere close to 26,600 and bounce off, that will be a clear structure. Higher highs, higher lows. I would say that's actually clear. You go up, you consolidate, you bounce, you consolidate, you bounce. That's going to be great. Now, what if we're going to break that and come below that? That's when it is more important for us to understand what we're doing here. We actually made a low, which was lower low, and then put in a lower high and then a lower low. After which we bounced off, creating a higher high, higher low, and another higher high. So the trend is slowly starting to move to the other direction, or bears are weak now. Bulls are starting to increase here or double down at this point. Now, when you actually go into the strength side of things, you do get that understanding like, okay, it's great. We've actually seen a couple of breakouts here. First was a fake out. We went back in, but then we broke higher. Now we are trending to the upside. While the price was going down, RSI was going to the upside. That showed you we had the divergence active. Now take that idea into XRP. Say, let's remove all this so that we start from zero. Look at the macro structure here on a weekly chart. It kind of shows you like we discussed about this pattern. We discussed about this over and over again with multiple reasons, saying, guys, actually watch this. I mean, this is really interesting. You cannot neglect the fact that that particular candle which we are discussing here is a hammer happening at a support. Now, we have watched these kind of patterns happening and then the price bouncing off, making a higher low structure, and then again continuing that trend. So if that's true, now what we are watching here is a most likely move to the upside. Say we may actually see the price actually jumping to the upside like this. Now, yes, we would also like to see this break 0.75 and 0.86, because if we do, then 0.75 is going to be a support. You go up, you come back down to this range and bounce off. That is going to be one hell of a crazy structure for the bulls. Because imagine when that's happening. Now, this is all visualizing the possibilities. Remember, while the price was here, I still remember a lot of people were like, we're going down, we're going down, we're going down. I'm like, no, we're having a divergence, we're going up. We did bounce. Then we came back down to retest that level. At that point, we still got people saying, now we're going down, we're going down. Somewhat, like 0.25, 0.28. Now we had doubled that. 100% about what those guys were saying where we would be. Now, what's more important than this is like as you zoom out on a monthly chart, a historical version of this, you kind of get to see like, okay, the trend which we are watching here is a macro trend. So any kind of bounce from this level should generate a macro move. So I would actually bet against like this for me is a wave 1 structure, which actually has 3 microwaves within that. You get the wave 1, you get the wave 2, you get the wave 3. So you actually got a 3 micro structure. Now, historically in crypto, we've actually seen 5 times wave 1 and wave 2. So if you actually plot that to say, okay, my wave 2 in XRP is going to be somewhere like 5.5, I would be close to $18. Great. How many of you are willing to take profit when the price reaches 15, 16, 17, 18? I mean, massively, not small positions, because at those levels, you need to understand if your average buy is close to 0.3, you're already 50x up. If your average buy is from this range, you had patience holding all this year, you're 85x up. That's a lot of money. I mean, if you have been holding this asset from 2020 or 2017, you've been buying more, and most likely you went from, say, 1,000 units all the way up to 100,000 units. That was 4 years, and the price went up, went down. You had a lot of opportunities in the market. Now, if that's you, it's huge for you. Imagine that's not you. You came back in the market with the recent run up, the price went nuts, and that got your attention. You entered the market. Now, you're looking at a 25x return. Is that small? I mean, which institution is going to give you that? Now, you will see some other assets doing this stuff, right? We've actually seen some of these coins doing like crazy moves. Yeah, we agree that these meme coins may actually do much higher than some of these utility coins. And it kind of confuses a lot of us looking at that just went 500x. Whoa, right? Sure, but how many of us can actually ride those with the amount of certainty and risk in our portfolio? That's going to be one of the biggest questions you have to ask yourself. You're watching other assets like Matic, which actually went nuts last time. We were calling the top somewhere close to 2.2. Yeah, 2.2. And the price went up to 2.8. People were saying like, you're wrong. I'm like, yeah, but think about this. I was talking about 2.2. The top is 2.8. But where did we start from? So if you did ride this wave, that was one hell of a run up. That's exactly what I'm saying here. Remember, that run up was not small, 25x. But those who held on to this 10x, 15x, and then rode this wave all the way back up made the most gain. You understand that? If you held on to that position, now your return on investment is like 1000x, not 250x or 200x. You made 1000x because you had the patience to go through all this, buy more and accumulate more. This is what I'm talking about in XRP. That is the first structure we had. Most likely we're going to have much bigger than that coming towards us. Great. Now everyone will have some level of doubt, confusion, all those. Great. Let's learn. I mean, this is market. We are trying to learn. And as you learn and progress, you are making improvements. You actually know this structure. We have seen this double bottom before. And what happened after that? So if we get a bigger double bottom structure here, do you think this consolidation happening here is this one? I personally think so, which means for me, this run up is like a crazy nut job. It's going to come, it's going to take a lot of bears on the sidelines, and at the same time, a lot of bulls too. Some of them would take profits too early and they will move out. Maybe they will just take the profit, move out at $3.5, $3.8, close to last all-time highs. Some of them may wait to $5, $6 and they'll say, okay, I've seen these guys saying to me like, Sai, my appetite is full. 15x, that's a big number for me. I agree. But based on your age, your risk tolerance, and your targets of future, everyone has different targets. But don't just say like, your target is a 500x or a 1000x. That rarely happens in the market. If you watch that the crypto market can actually do a 30 to 40x, if you actually get somewhat of that run up, I would be so much happy for you. Crypto market did like a 27x last time to the upside. That was a great run. So if you managed to get half of that, great. Now, if you got the entire run up, you are a genius. See, if you look at XLM for that matter, you can actually see like XLM actually ran up in that structure. And XLM did run up 15x. That was huge. Now, that's on a monthly chart. If you actually put in the candlesticks, you can actually see the volatility pushing it up to 33. Say, somewhere close to 30x was still possible, or 25x. How about that? That means last time when the market went up, this asset joined it and did almost what the average market did. So if this time the average market is going to do a 40, 50x, there is no arguing about XRP, XLM going nuts in this run up. Now, there will be a lot of different arguments in the market. What you have to think about is what's your argument? What's your points? What do you actually believe in? Because if you think the market is going to go down, whatever we try to do, we won't be able to convince you. Whatever information, time, effort we put in, you are not going to believe us. But at the same time, when someone comes in and says it's going to go down, it's kind of, agreeing with your bias, so you'll go with it. We have seen that. Now, what we want to know is like, okay, all of us had mistakes in the past. We are learning from that past, which means we should have increased our predictive capacity in the market. We had seen a lot of these patterns, price structure over the time. So if we see that repeating, don't go against it saying, okay, this is not possible. But if that's happened in the past before, don't just go there and say, okay, this is not possible. Because the price is now consolidating in this particular range, which I would personally say is huge. Now, if that's too messy for you guys, I'll actually take that down and give you a little bit more clearer structure, because this is important. If you keep your eyes focused on Bitcoin, this range is a sharp range, and it clearly shows you that the price is trending to the upside. It entered that range here. It bounced off from this trend line support. It entered that range. It is now inside that. So if we do see this breaking to the upside somewhere around $31,000, $32,000, wow, this is going to go much higher. Now we need to see where we get a divergence, where we start forming bearish. You need to start taking a lot of your profits out. For sure, there will be doubts. For sure, you need to actually look at the short-term structure to understand like what the market is showing you. Literally, it's really important. I understand that. That's one of the reasons why I actually go through all these assets, giving you guys the exact thought process which I actually have. There are a lot of different assets showing you a lot of different moves in the market. We've been following all of this. When the price was still at the downside, a lot of people had the argument, we're going to break this, we're going to come back down. I shared this, taking my time, showing like, I think bears are in real trouble. We've actually gone through a lot of different charts over the time, like maybe 13, 14,000 charts in the Patreon, right? So if you are interested in that and learning from that and watching all these opportunities before they start, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. So guys, if you receive value, smash that like button for me. I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.